Hey guys, hope you all are doing great. In this video I'm going to show you how I have done this painting. So if you wanna know, please watch till the end. Here I'm using Clip Studio Paint for this painting. At first I'm going to grab a brush called DV Block and I will be drawing the sky at first. I'll be speeding up the video whenever needed. At first I'm going to use a blue color, quite a saturated one. And I will use a lighter shade on top of it and maybe a shade in between of them in the middle. Let's choose a bit dark. Well, I'm confused. Yeah, this one is great. So this is the base of my sky. Now I'm going to blend it. I might be using the paint blend. Yes, the name is paint blend. So I'll be using this brush and I'm blending the colors so that it looks real. Alright, we are done with painting the sky. Now I'm looking for a forest brush. I think this one is great. And I will continue painting with it. Forest brushes are really very useful when we do not have any idea what we should do in the background. I will focus more on the front part of this painting, so I'm using a forest brush in the behind. So I'm cleaning the lower portion, and now I'm going to add the similar forest brush or a particular forest brush beneath of the layer. Because it will act as a reflection in the water. I will change the opacity of this portion later on. I might be using a soft eraser for that. Now I'm using the fingertip blend brush for blending the lower portion, because I told you earlier that it shall look like a reflection in the water. So this is how I have blended this, and now let's move on to the water. I'm selecting a color. I think I will go for a matte kind of color, which is not that saturated, and this looks quite cute. Alright, adding some whites because I'm going to use the finger tip blend brush again, so that it looks like a reflection or wave or whatever. I mean, it looks like water basically. And I think adding some darker color in the lower portion of the whites will make it look like a shadow of the upper portion. So I think I'm going to add some gray. And then again I will be adding some blending with the fingertip brush. Well, this part will not be that visible later on because I'm going to add a lot of things on top of the water. So I'm keeping it this way. I know it doesn't look that real, but that's okay. It's not going to be visible. Adding some blue on top of the white because I think I have added a lot of white. Now it looks fine. Doing some color grading because I feel that the water is looking quite dark, so making it a bit white. Alright, so I'm selecting a green color and I'm adding some texture, grass texture. In this part, I think color has a lot of things to do, because adding a darker color and some lighter tone on top of it, and then again adding some darker color, you just have to play with the colors so that it looks quite realistic. I mean, just look at the nature. It has a lot of colors inside of it, but it doesn't look unreal. So I'm trying to play with the colors I'll be adding some land portion on top of the water, and then I'll be adding some tree on top of it. So here you can see that I am drawing with a sampled brush, I guess. I'm adding some lighter color as well on top of it so that it looks like grass. I'm making it a bit messy because I think messy looks real in painting. Adding the darker color on top of the lighter tone. Some random grass kind of effect. Now in the previous layer, I will be adding some similar kind of grass because I'm going to make it look like a reflection. And I'm blending it with the fingertip blending brush, changing the size of the brush. Later on, this part will look like a reflection. This is why I'm erasing and blending this portion. Just make it random. It's not necessary to make it look like the grass. You can just blend it because reflections do not have a proper shape when it is on top of the water. I'm erasing the lower portion of the forest because I want to make it look like a reflection, like I said. So I'm erasing this portion a bit, but not completely. I'm going to duplicate this layer, and the upper layer, I think I should erase few portion of it. Yes, it looks fine. And I'm changing the blending mode into multiply, if you can see on your right. Making another layer of it and erasing the upper portion more properly. I have got a tree brush and I will be adding it behind of the grass so that it looks like it has grown up from the soil, from the land. Now changing the size, making it look random. And I will be adding some colors like lighter and darker colors. It looks more real. I think it looks fine now. I'm adding some grass, random grass. Also changing the colors in between is important. I'm using the eyedropper for that. I'm using both the light and the darker tone of green. And some yellow colored flowers. I think it looks fine. Some spray, yellow spray on top of the flowers. Alright, I am thinking of adding some tree kind of thing on our right because I want to make it look like a tree which is snaking through our painting. So I'm adding a tree over here, but I think it will have a different color than the background. It might look a bit different. I don't know if it's a good idea or bad. I'm just trying to add some more material into the painting. Let's add some bush or leaf kind of things on top of the tree and do some color grading because I'm not liking the color. I think I'm going to give it a more yellowish kind of undertone later on, or maybe some grayish kind of tone. I'm not sure. I mean, it looks like the background, so I think I will change it later on into something less saturated. I have also added some flowers on top of it, if you have noticed, some whitish kind of flowers, which is falling from the tree on top of the water. Alright, I have decreased the saturation of our tree. Now it looks different from the background. This is also green, but not the green of the background. Now I'm going to do some color grading, but before that let's just draw some bush in the background part of our painting, because I think it was looking quite empty. You know, the forest, it wasn't looking that fulfilling for the painting, so I have added some extra environment kind of things in the background, and I'm drawing a reflection as well in a separate layer. I will change the blending mode into multiply and decrease the opacity, and then I will be using a fingertip brush for the blending. I think I should also use some color grading over here, make it look more green. Alright, some color grading in the background. It was looking quite blue. I think we should add some blur in the water portion. So I'm adding blur because I think the water was looking quite messy. Like I told you earlier, that it's not going to be visible for a long time. So now we can change the things that we want to change. I want to use some water or wave foam on top of the lake or the pond. Lake actually. Okay. Whitish foam, it looks nice. I think I have drawn the layer beneath. I'm going to drag it on top of the other layers, because you know, the right portion of the foam, it looks quite green, so it means it's under my reflection. So yeah, there you go. So now we are at the end of our painting. Now we are going to do some fun stuff, which is adding an overlay layer on top of our painting, and I'm going to use some colors. You know, it gives a very surreal kind of look to your painting. I am using an airbrush and I'm adding some colors on top of my painting. With the blending mode overlay, it gives a beautiful tone to your painting. I mean, this is the last thing that I do in each of my painting. If you have noticed, in all of my paintings I do that. I don't know, I have something for this particular thing at the end of my painting. Now I'm going to do some color grading. I think changing the contrast is important sometimes so that it looks more vibrant. So I'm changing the contrast of the background. So there we go. So if you enjoyed this painting, kindly subscribe to my channel, share my videos with your friends. Have a nice day everyone. Thanks for watching.